All right, I'll sit here.
So what do you need, the
So
timer?
just took 20 minutes?
All right, timer?
Yeah, timer.
Okay.
Hey, when you're at 20, just tell me when you go.
All right, you tell me when.
Right now, let's go. 3.
So you want, hold on, do you want it to time off, or I mean chime?
Yeah, chime at 20
Okay,
minutes.
all right.
You got it?
Yeah, there it is.
Good morning.
Good morning, man.
Hey, how's it going?
That's great, man, thank you.
Absolutely. How's life? What's just going on?
I tell you, if life could be any better, it's probably a crime. I'm really lucky, and I count my blessings every day. I have a really short commute to work. I work with great people. I get to wear shorts to work. Even though I work in an office, I get to wear shorts, and I thank the pandemic, I thank COVID for that. Many silver linings for me personally, and it's an awful thing for many people, but for me personally, it worked out well.
Do you feel like that is a product of like staying positive over time and making it work, or did you just get to this good spot and you're enjoying it, or have you always felt like you've had like a lucky life?
Yeah, it's really interesting that you say that, Agron, because I really reflect, and I really have had a lucky life, and I'm very, very blessed. And I don't know if it's just, karma. I don't know if it's just luck. I've been very blessed my whole life.
On our little preliminary conversation, you're telling me that your family came here from England.
Yeah.
You were the first one born here. Mm-hmm. What was that? So I guess what was it growing up in? Because you're from Los Angeles.
Born and raised here in Los Angeles. Hopefully it's not TMI. I was conceived in England, but I was born here. Okay. And my parents immigrated over, and it was an interesting time. It was, growing up, it was fantastic. Watching a lot of our British TV as a kid and listening to your parents with a British accent, right?
Okay.
I had a British accent as a kid. So when you go to school and you speak differently, the kids kind of tease you, right? Because, you speak different. Who's this guy? And so you learn to lose your accent really, really quickly.
And did your parents get sad about that? Was everybody happy?
No, they knew. They knew. Yeah, they knew it was going to happen. Yeah.
So what did your dad do come here? Did he come here for work? Did you come here for a better life?
Yeah, no, my dad came here for work. He actually lived here for a little while, and then went back to get my mom, and then they came over, and my dad worked for a company, then ended up buying the company, and a small company, but it was, he sold it when I was in high school, thank God, because otherwise I would have felt guilty or pressure to take over the company, which I did not want to do.
So then I guess my question is did you growing up did your parents raise you, I don't say English, I guess it's London still speaks English, a very culture. Did you grow up eating traditional English food?
Yeah. Oh, to this day, British food is still my favorite.
Okay.
And a lot of people knock it, and I get it. I can see how they can knock it, but to me it's wonderful. Traditional English breakfast is my favorite breakfast of all time.
Okay.
And
what's that contain?
Okay,
yeah.
so it's a sausage, right, with fried eggs, fried tomatoes, baked beans. Baked beans for breakfast, but it has to be tomato-based beans, not barbecue beans, right? Irish bacon, fried bread, if you can believe that. Fried bread is a big thing. So bad for you, but it's so good.
I guess it sounds like your parents had a lot of like, English, traditions growing up. Do you do the same thing with your family? Is it just very, I don't know if you continue that or not. Is that something that's like silly?
No, it's not silly at all. In fact, we're a multicultural family. My wife is actually in the same position as me. With her parents immigrated from Mexico, and so she was born here, and so we have dual cultures in the home. So strong Hispanic base, strong English base, and our son embraces both.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
okay.
He really loves it. Yeah.
So what's that like growing up and like raising a kid that's obviously because like there's both countries have beautiful long history.
Yeah.
It's something you guys like keep in mind, or you're just trying to
Yes.
get by?
Yeah. It's what's really kind of cool about the whole thing is that we don't push one culture over another. He just kind of interacts. It's like for him, he's Mexican, he's English and American, right? So we teach him everything. Our wedding that we had for my wife and I, it was kind of a culture clash. We had mariachis at the wedding and bagpipers at the wedding. So it was really, really cool and fun. But based on that, we were at the grandparents' house this past weekend on my wife's side, completely embracing the families getting together and having a cookout and the Mexican food and all that, we do everything. And the great commonality that we have, and I love it. Yeah, everyone complains about their in-laws. I love my in-laws because being from England, soccer is the #1 sport. Mexico, soccer is huge.
Okay.
So we have that commonality there, and we get together and we talk soccer, we watch soccer. It's fantastic.
How's being a father like changed your life?
Yeah, well, I tell you, that's an interesting question. Thank you, Ergron. So my parents were very, very hands-off when it came to nurturing us in terms of sports. They just let us play and have fun and all that. And looking back, I wish they would have pushed me a little bit more because I probably could have done more with my career. And so with our son, we gently nudge him to do a little bit more and try a little bit harder instead of staying back. We do let him do what he wants, but we do encourage him to play a little bit harder, and that seems to work. I think you take the little best of both worlds, a little gentle push and a lot of encouragement and just not yelling and staying back. Oh my God, the yelling that parents do today is just insane. It's so unfair.
And your parents didn't yell at mom?
No, just the opposite. They were just so quiet on the sidelines.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You tell me, whatever you want. You're the director.
That looks good. That looks cool. Okay. That's great.
Smile and
What you do right now is perfect. What's your favorite thing about Los Angeles? Like you're from here. You've never left. You set roots here.
Yeah.
I guess
the diversity. That's huge. That's
okay.
huge for my family. Being my son being multicultural, right? It's important for us for him to be exposed to all the ethnicities that we have in Los Angeles, and we live in a town called Monrovia, which is very, very, very diverse. Okay. And that's why we've decided to stay there, just because of that. And the school system's good, and he's exposed to all kinds of people and cultures, and yeah, that's why we like Los Angeles. And I mean, the weather here is just fantastic. You can't beat it.
Can't beat it. And yeah. I guess like you grew up with English food. So what was it? Did your parents order takeout a lot? Like, did you try it? No,
the reason I laugh is not the question. It's just I think back to my mom's cooking, and she wasn't the best cook, and so she tried, and we tried a lot of different things, but my dad always gravitated back to his traditional English foods, and my mom tried to cook those, and we did go out to eat, every once in a while.
What was like the first thing you remember just tasting that was just like, wow, what is this?
Oh my goodness. Like in a good way or a bad way?
In a good way, because from what my little experience of like watching like documentaries on Netflix and stuff, like this is such an amazing Latino food base. Like you have so many of like Korean talent and like Filipino.
Yeah.
So I guess like when you first try those things, like were you like blown away that food could have that much like?
Yeah. So okay. So this is what I can remember as a child. So my mom didn't cook Mexican food at home because she did her basic traditional. She tried to acclimate to American cooking, whatever that is, and then obviously the English cooking. So I remember going to this Mexican restaurant, and I remember the name of it. It's called Rusty's Hacienda.
Okay.
It's no longer there, and it was a local to where we lived. And I just remember that, and I just remember having it, and the spice and the flavors and the avocados, because avocados weren't big in England. So I don't remember having avocados at home. So yeah, that's probably my first memory is Rusty's Hacienda. It was fantastic.
So I don't know you that well. Obviously, we had a little preliminary talk now.
Yeah.
You're very positive, fun, a lot of great
thanks.
energy. Well, how?
Oh, okay. Well, all right. This is going to sound silly. Then it goes back to the English roots, right?
Okay.
So there was an English troupe called Monty Python, which you may remember. Okay. So they had great films, and there was one specific song in a film. I think it was The Life of Brian, and Eric Idle was the singer, and it was called "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life." And I think I was 7, 8, 9 when I saw the film, and it's a song, and he's by the way hanging on a cross in the film, but it's a parody, so it's not gruesome or anything. And he's singing "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life," nothing's bad, and all that. So I love that song. My brother and I still sing it to this day, and it just taught me that things can be bleak, but there's always something better.
Better.
And that's how I live my
Stuck
life.
with that your for a long time.
And I think that's why I've been so fortunate. Certainly I'm not, rich or anything like that, but I've been fortunate to lead a good life, a relatively comfortable life, and I think it's just my attitude, karma, and thinking things are always better. So anyway.
I guess how do you practice that? I'm just confused myself because I find myself going ups and downs, valleys and lows, and sometimes I just get so angry and I feel like I lose my positivity because you get in a rut. So how do you stay? I guess that's my last question. We're at 20 minutes.
Okay.
How do you practice that?
Okay. Well, to me, it's all about choice, and I choose to, just always think positively. I learned this a long time ago, and it was a saying that when you meet somebody, they're not going to remember what you say, they're not going to remember what you wore, but they're always going to remember how you made them feel. And so if you can leave somebody making them feel good about themselves or leaving a positive impression, then you did your job. And so I kind of think like that, and I've always been lucky to always think happy thoughts and positive and all that.
I think that's a great way to end it too.
Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thanks, man.